SG Reads.
Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be going through a reading of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Now I wanted to do this one because I have reached 300 subscribers as of lately, and I am very grateful to all of you who have helped push it so far. I would like to thank you all. I know that this is one of Edgar Allan Poe's, one of his most famous ones, I would have to say. And for good reason, it's really good, and I really got into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll keep doing my poems. I'm moving the date up to Tuesday, so that way I can have more time to do more other videos on the weekends. And yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. And yeah, let's get started, shall we? Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a crease of sorrow, sorrow from the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is that I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure it heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely this is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter. Wind with many a flirt and flutter. In there stepped a stately raven of the sanity days of yore. Not the latest obedience made me, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door. Perched above a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of that countenance it wore. "Though thou crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Politan shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled, and ungainly foul to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being even yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by reply so abruptly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is the only stock in store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his song one burden bore, till the digress of his hopes that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what his grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fairly eyes now burned into my bosom core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating over she shall press on nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tuffled floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee respite, respite, and nepeth from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepeth, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempest sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all the undotted, and this deserted land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me thy, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Iden, if shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, unstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no blank plum as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flittering, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is streaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shell that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Alright, now that we read the poem, let's talk about it, shall we? This is obviously a melancholic poem. This is about someone who has lost somebody he cares very dearly. Lenore. We don't really get that idea who Lenore is, but knowing the background of Edgar Allan Poe, it's probably one of his late wives who passed away before him. And he is sulking, thinking that he'll never see them again, thinking that maybe in some way he kind of deserved it in this way or that way. But overall, he's sulking no less. Feels that the world's mocking him, hoping that when he opens that door, she's right there waiting at him, staring at him. And he thinks that this bird, or whatever it is maybe an omen, suggesting that wherever she is, he might not reach her. And that's a fear he has in going into this. And that's pretty much what I could surmise from the poem. It could be various other ways that you could see it. But it's mainly about someone's loneliness, of missing somebody, and kind of thinking, what if I don't see them again, in a way. There are a lot of ways you could take this, but that's just my own interpretation of it. If you guys have your own way, please leave it down in the comment section. I'd really like to hear it. I like hearing people's interpretations of poems, stories, whatever really. Yeah, so thanks again for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. and I hope to see you guys again next time. See ya!